Miss Carla, good evening. Good evening. I'm supposed to open it this way. Oh boy, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm gonna open this way. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open it the way it opened on me. Four on each one. There's five on each one. So how many is in there? Got some work to do. All right. Good evening, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out. I want to organize this book. Book number 3. Oh Lord, help me. Help me. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kimble Evans. I am your Trap Therapist, and welcome. This evening is Wednesday, August 13th. Happy birthday, big bro. He's 49 today. My big bro was 49. Give a shout out to Christopher Josie, known as Squeak. We don't call him that anymore because he's a grown man. Your name is not that anymore. That's a name for, when we call you when we were younger, teenagers, as I call my Uncle Ray, not Uncle Bo anymore because you're a grown man. I'm grown now. God rest my dad's soul. Uh, Let me turn this down a little bit. Daddy, I think I'm a little bit more than marinating now. I think so. I think I'm a little bit more than marinating. I'm a little seasoned. A little seasoned. If you give it to me, Daddy, if you give it to me. I say I'm seasoned now, a little seasoned. Not marinating anymore. But before we get into part 2 of lies, deception, and delusions, part 2, get a little good here. We're going to wrap up lies, deception, and delusions. Let's do our minute week check-in. My minute week check-in, I was between great and humble. Mr. Humble at the gray, the gray, the gray. Great, humble, and I was so I had 2. I put 2 emoji hearts up. Red and gray, self-restraint, cool, and some humbleness. I'm sorry for that camera shaking. So I had 2 up. I was doing great, cool, and self-restraint, and I had some humbleness. I was tired today, so definitely tired today. I'm trying to figure out why that backdrop is so dark back there on my YouTube. But I threw up a red heart and a gray heart today. Humbleness, but I'm doing great. Humbleness, a great emoji heart, and I'm doing great. So let's check out and see how you guys are feeling this evening. How are you feeling this evening? So if you are doing great, give me the red hearts. If you're doing great, throw up some red hearts. How are you feeling this evening? If you are doing great, throw up them red hearts. We got Miss Carla. She's doing well, and she's having some some humble, some cool restraint. She's doing. If you are doing okay, this is not purple, this is blue. If you're doing okay, throw up some blue hearts. If you're doing okay, throw up some blue hearts. If things are tough and you're struggling, give us a green heart. Give us a green emoji heart. If things are tough and you're struggling, give us a green emoji heart. Please also inbox me so I can talk to you and try to process some things with you. And I'm cutting off. Am I going in and out, you mean? I'm going in and out, Miss Carla? Green hearts, if things are tough and you're struggling, inbox me so I can talk to you, process it, and get you some resources. This is purple. If you're having a hard time and wouldn't mind if someone was to reach out to you, that would be me, myself. Um, DM me. I do check my inboxes later on each time, and I do check them out during the week. So if you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if somebody was to reach out to you, this is purple. Give those purple emoji hearts up there. If you're in a really dark place, this is the red emoji heart with the broken heart going down the middle of it. If you're in a really dark place, again, DM me. I check my boxes all the time. I'll get you to someone that you need to talk to. That rain got it sticky, don't it? If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, put that pink emoji heart up there. If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, put that pink emoji heart up there. I'm closing the door. If you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, put the orange emoji heart up there. If you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, put the orange emoji heart up there. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, put the light blue emoji heart up there. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, the light blue emoji heart up there. And again, that great emoji heart, Miss Carla got 4 of them things up there. Cool, self-restraint, and some humbleness. Humbleness is a great thing. I'm learning that. The humbleness. It helps a lot, especially with your blood pressure, your anxiety, centering yourself, your headaches. Humbleness is a great thing. Thank you, Miss Carla, for giving me that. It's really awesome. Some blankness, minimalism, and you just don't want to just whatever. That white emoji heart gives it all. Blankness, minimalism, you're having those mixed emotions. You're just in between. Throw that white emoji heart up there, the white emoji heart. We're in the middle of the week, right? We're in the middle of the week. So if you're having a day like this, give me a brown emoji heart. If you're having a day like this, give me a brown emoji heart. It's okay. You can have a day like this. We have those days. Give me a brown emoji heart. If you're just feeling mad, Miss Carter threw 4 of them yellow hearts up there, man. Like with this rain, we just had a big rainstorm come through here, lightning, thunder. My dog was looking at me. I was looking at my husband. I said, I'm glad you're here because I'm not going out there. My grandma used to say, sit down, shut up, and turn the lights out. Don't even breathe. Her mom got struck by lightning. My grandmother's mother got struck by lightning and passed away, so I can understand her anxiety around when it rained. No lights on, you couldn't move, don't even breathe. Okay, when it came to lightning and thundering. So if you're having a mad day, give up some yellow emoji hearts. Give us some yellow emoji hearts. Excuse me, something is in my orbital socket. Whatever it is, it should be out of there. It should be out of here. Now this is my bad boy. Frustration. The heart with the flame around. If you're frustrated, having some frustration, I have to get this on my what do I have to scan that on the the mental health check-in. I gotta scan that paper, find it somewhere in here. It's somewhere in my all my paper forms, and put this flaming heart up there so it can identify with frustration. This week I'll try to do that. So if you're frustrated, have that flaming heart up there. Some frustration. We have those days. Our last emoji heart is the black emoji heart, some anger, some sadness. I had someone call me today. She was angry. She was frustrated. She was grieving. She lost her father. He was married. And she felt like she was being ignored. She She was actually adopted when she was 10, so this was not her biological father, but this man took care of her as if this was her only child, as if this was his only child. Um, and the family like checked her out of everything, and she was so upset. But the father knew he was going, and he did some things in place. He put some things in place for her before he passed, and she was so upset. And she was not able to grieve during everything that was going on. And she had it out on the phone, and I just listened to her today. And I told her she was so strong. And I put myself in that position because I know how it was for my dad. Um, and I told her that her dad was Superman, that he meant everything to her and to her sons too. And I can hear her son in the background saying, I miss Pop, I miss Pop. And that just touched my heartstrings. And I told her she can still go on. And because her dad sounded like my father, he was really strong. He didn't show too much of emotion. And when she was saying that, I asked her, I said, what would your dad tell you to do right now? She was like, suck it up and keep going. And I said, for this little small piece of a moment, you can just cry. Let it out. And she was weeping on the phone. And I said, I'm sorry you're going through this right now, but you need to get this out. You need this time to grieve. So I told her, just take her time. Take her time. She was very, very emotional, very frustrated because she was not able to do that in that moment at his service, in the moment when he was, she said he didn't even want to say that he was incontinent when he and I'm laughing because my dad was the same way. When that word came up, she said his eyes got big as soccer balls. So I'm glad I was able to share something with her in that moment. But I told her, let it out. And she was wailing on the line this morning, wailing. And her 2-year-old son came over and told her, I miss Pop. And so they shared that moment together. Just remembering, we don't like to deal with sadness and anger. That's why I leave that emoji heart for the last one. We don't like to deal with that emotion. In society, it tells us that we have to actually get over those emotions quickly. When someone's angry, we always say, calm down, calm down. No, let them deal with that. As long as they're not harming themselves or harming someone else, you let them process that emotion. And that's why I leave anger and sadness for last. And I say, let's process that together. Because society says, get over it. Calm down, go through really quickly, and we need to process that emotion because society won't let us process it. Society says, get over it, get back to the norm, and we'll go back to the norm without even saying, I'm hurt, I'm lost, I feel, and we'll just go right back to the day-to-day of life. And 2-3 years later, we're like, we never even went through the emotion of saying, I felt hurt, I feel lost. Crying, grief, something we were so close to. So I gave her that moment on the phone today, and she understood it. So we're getting back into lies, deception, and delusions. And so let's just do a really, really quick recap. I defined lying, deception, and delusions. So lying is really an intentional act, right? It's intentional. You know when you're going to do it. Person know when they're going to lie. It's an intentional act. It's false and misleading, and it's deliberate. It's the deliberate, really. You're going to lie. Deception is, you're tricking someone, you're charming them, you're manipulating them, you're wooing them. We call it beguiling. That word there, right? Beguiling. Delusion is something eternal. It's a false belief that's from that person. It's congruent from reality. So it's only that person what they really believe, their reality. And we said lying, deception, and delusion, it impacts every single person. It impacts the relationship, how you communicate, trust, the social awkwardness. And we said, this can start in childhood. I gave the example of telling your children about Santa Claus. I also gave the example of the little white lie, right? The example of keeping a promise and you're breaking a promise. The example of telling somebody how good they look in a dress and you really don't like how they look in the dress. Those were examples, right? Those were examples. So now we're getting into the non-bizarre delusions that involve situations. We're getting deep into this thing. So non-bizarre delusions involving situations that could possibly occur in real life, such as being followed. Now, this is the delusions, and this can happen in real life. Being stalked, right? Someone having a PFA, protection from abuse, and before they even get that PFA, they can be stalked. They can be stalked via social media. They can be stalked. Someone calling their phone all the time. They can be stalked. Someone that this person is checking up on their family members, asking where such and such is at. Someone going to their place of work. Someone going to their a place of business. Just going being in their place wherever that person is. And so now this is their reality. So it can occur in real life. Follow, deceived, or again, a loved one from a distance. These delusions usually involve misinterpretation or perceptions of experiences, either true or highly exaggerated. Now, there's 6 delusion types. 6 delusion types: erotomatic, grandiose. Now, erotomatic is romantic. It's that romantic type love, but it's dangerous. Grandiose is overinflated sense of self, worth, power, knowledge, or identity. They believe that they have a great talent or have made an important discovery. We can say that I can kind of give a grandiose idea of like Kanye West. Kanye West is the best at everything. Kanye West was like he was God at first. Sometimes you'll have a person will have that grandiose feeling of being God, or they're a superstar, or they're going to make it. They're this mega power person, that grandiose feeling. Another type of delusion is the jealous type, the delusional disorder. They believe that their spouse or their sexual partner is unfaithful. That's a type of delusion without any concrete evidence. They believe someone or something is mistreating them, they're spying on them, or they're attempting to harm them. And they will repeat complaints to legal authorities. So they'll call all the time. We had an elderly person do that today on the line. She was calling saying someone was robbing her house, someone's on her roof. She has dementia. And so she called 911 several times a day. We had to send someone out there to check up on her to make sure she was okay because she lives alone. And that's that security belief. You have the systematic delusions. It's a physical thing. It's always a medical problem going on with fear. They have parasites, or there's a bad odor or smell coming from them. Then you have the mixed delusions. You have 2 or more of the same types of delusions that's listed above. You can have the grandiose and the precipitory delusions together. These affect middle to late life in age. So you can have the jealous type, or more common. So what they're saying is the jealous types are more common in men, and the aromatic types are more common in women. So the jealous types of, thinking that your spouse is unfaithful, or, having these sexual encounters with other men or other women is for men. But the aromatic is for the women. The woman is dating this person. They fell in love with this person, and they don't even have a relationship with this person. That's more of the women, and the jealous type of more of the men. of the men. Other people who have described their delusions this way. You can describe delusions in anger and violent behavior, persistently holding grudges against people. You see this sometimes with neighbors. And there's a show that comes on TV actually called Neighbors with Grudges. Like you'll have neighbors that don't like each other for like 15, 20 years. You never know why. You never know why. And it's because of the delusions or family members sometimes. I got family members like that now. Like I don't even know why. What's going on? What's the beef? What's the beef? What's the beef? Persistently holding grudges. A readiness to respond and to react quickly. So the fight, flight, or freeze, they're triggered immediately. Immediately, these people are on go. Immediately. And that's a dangerous way to be. A dangerous way to be. Preoccupation with the loyalty or trustworthiness of friends. Sometimes they're feeling though they're being exploited. You can see that with Kanye West. He does not have a circle of people around him. Matter of fact, he has nobody around him. He once did, but now Kanye is by himself in a small circle of people. He does not trust anybody. He does not think anyone is loyal to him. No one. He feels as though he's being exploited. And so remember, I was talking about how this impacts your self-esteem, how this impacts your social behaviors, how this impacts your physical, the physical things that happen to your body, the blood pressure, your weight gain, fatigue, your gastrointestinal system inside, weight loss, up and down, bruising, your blood sugar levels. Now they're, and I'm not against medication, and this is more on the delusional side to help with the chemical imbalance of it all. Because remember, the delusional side is more of internal belief. So it has to do with the messages that's going back and forth in your mind. And I wish I had. And again, guys, I'm so sorry. I am not on Instagram because again, I don't have 1,000 followers. I am not that popular, and that's okay with me. That's okay with me. I want to know if it will give me. I don't know if it will give me his. Normally it would. It will give me his diagnosis. See, it's taking me too long. I do not like this iPad. It's taking me too long. I should know it, but I don't. Serious? I'm not putting that out there. Okay. It says that he has Kanye West has, and I would say that he has bipolar disorder. Okay. All right. I'll take that one. All right. So with his bipolar disorder, and I believe it's manic. The medication that he has to take, he has to make sure he maintains that medication. And with him having those grandiose ideas, and remember, Kanye said before he was on the medications, and with him being on those medications, it stunted his creativity. And I can believe that. So on the medications, it's stopping one part of his brain from doing the good stuff with his music. And so he stopped taking it, and then that's what happened when he stopped taking it. It messed with the brain that was supposed to help with the bad stuff, which is that's what they say the chemical imbalance is for. I do believe now that Kanye is probably on an injection medication that helps him out a little bit more than the oral. Um, that's just my my synopsis of it, because he's not been in the spotlight for a while now, thank goodness. But how do you cope with basically a person that goes from those levels, from lying to deception to now full blown delusions? Because it's like it's levels to it. Because if you don't stop it, and you allow somebody to continue to manipulate you and telling lies over and over and over, it's going to keep going. Continue to let a child lie to you. It's going to keep going. It's going to be deceptions, and then they're going to be start to believe their lies, and it's going to turn into those type of behaviors, those bizarre, non-bizarre behaviors. So coping with these things. Understand that the nature of the lying determine if it's occasional dishonesty, compulsive, pathological. Adjust your expectations and then approach. So basically, you're trying to determine if it's something. Remember, we said lying. People lie to get what they want, to protect themselves from harm or from others. So determine if it's an occasional dishonest thing, if it's something compulsive, pathological, and adjust your expectations and to try to approach. Especially if it's coming from a child. Remember, children learn from us. They learn from us. So if you're saying a little white lie to your child, and once they grow up and they catch on to it, yeah, expect them to toss that thing back at you. Here it is. You said something to me, you made a promise to me, and you didn't keep your promise. And once I get older and I catch on to, mommy and daddy send a little white lie and they promise me something, I'm going to toss that ball back to you. Address it calmly and focus on the specifics. Use I statements. Remember we talked about those I statements? Let me see if I got the little sheet here. Yeah, there you go. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There's always got to be communication. Remember we said that communication, it breaks up. Where is it at? I know I can see. It causes severe breakdown of relationships and communication breakdowns. So when it says using I statements, you're taking those emotional effects out of it, and you're just saying, again, I feel, that something's going on, that something's the matter, that there's a problem somewhere. I wish we can talk about it. I think we can be, honest. I need, some truth to come out. I hope whatever the problem is, we can solve it truthfully and clearly. And I want us to see, to have a conclusion, a compromise, whatever that looks like to you, right? Use those I statements. You have to be open enough with your kids, with your grandkids, with your nieces, with your nephews. You have to be open enough with them. And today, I'm going to use my grandson. He's 14 as an example. He's probably going to come out his room and say, Nene. His birthday was the 8th. So that was Friday. Had everybody over here, had a huge birthday cake, big old birthday cake. And I was like, I didn't want to buy him all that cake. And so, if you've seen it on social media, he cut his cake the way he wanted to cut his cake. And it's set there Friday. Saturday, everybody didn't take cake home with them, but it was too much cake, first of all. It was a lot of cake. And so I came down and it was so much cake. And so I started putting it into containers for people to take, but it was still so much cake. It was still so much cake. And this morning, he's making waffles early this morning as I'm going to walk the dog this morning. And he's coming down and there's nothing on the table. There's no cake on the table. And as I'm getting ready to leave to walk the dog, I say to him, I says, oh, your cake is in the refrigerator. And he says, my cake is in the refrigerator. I said, yeah. And he looked at me with this strange face. And I can read his mind. I can just clearly read his mind. I said, I know you didn't think I threw your cake away. And he says, he didn't say anything. It just gave me the strange look. I said, I didn't throw your cake. I said, why would you think I threw your cake away? Because he was like, it's clearly not on the table. I said, boy, I paid a lot of money for that cake. I wasn't going to throw your cake away. I said, your cake is like 5 or 6 containers in the refrigerator. I said, I even kept your name. Like, your name is inside. And I'm showing him all the containers of cake. Like, here's all the cake right here. I'm like, you clearly got to start communicating, speak. Like, you should have said something. I'm not going to throw cake away. So the edge, the communication break. And it's like that with a lot of teenagers. All you see them doing is being in their phones, where they got those headphones on their ears, or they're playing on the video games. They're not talking to parents. They're not saying they wish, they want, they feel, they need, they hope. They're not doing this. We have to set this trend. We have to be more open with them. They're not going to tell us their problems. Not even our older children, not my 29-year-old, not my 27-year-old. They will keep them things in. And then we're wondering, like, what happened? What's going on? My generation, we were supposed to be seen and not heard, or go over there somewhere. We want them to be more open. You want your kids to be speaking to you and to be more open. These kids are very, very secretive. They ain't saying nothing. Nothing. So you want them to be a little bit more open and more interactive, especially with their expectations of not parenting, because I'm not my grandson's parent. I'm a guardian. I'm someone that he can confide in. I want him to be more open with communicating to me his feelings, his wishes, how he thinks, how he operates, those kind of things. The same thing for my children. We had Reverend Marie preach, I think, 2 Sundays ago. Jesus is our friend, right? If Jesus is our friend, why can't I have my children as my friend? If they can't talk to me and they're not talking to anybody outside and they're just keeping those things in, those problems, those worries, those fears, and those things are all in their mind, and they're keeping all those feelings inside their hearts, where's it going? Where are those negative thoughts going? Where's the anxiety going? Where's the self-hate going? Where's those things going? So be a little bit more open, especially about their expectations and the approaches we're taking with them, right? Address things in a calmly manner. Focus on specific, and again, use those I statements. Set boundaries and protect emotional well-being. I just went over that. And when I'm talking about emotional well-being, it's not a lot of do as I say and say as I do. Especially about the lying and with the delusions. Remember, with the delusions, it's an eternal false belief congruent with reality. Remember, I told you the story about the woman and believing her own delusions. Now, if it's something really, really outlandish, there's a man standing there and he's holding a knife and he's about to kill you, or there's a person standing there and it's they're bloody and things like that. But if they're saying, listen, I'm hearing this voice and it's telling me that I'm not enough, that I'm never going to be enough. Well, let's fact check that. Let's fact check that voice that's telling you this. Are you doing great in school? Yes. Do you have friends? Yes. Does your family love you? Yes. So let's fact check what the voice is saying. You're doing great in school. You have friends. Your family loves you. So we're going to shut that voice down right now. Let's talk about positive affirmations. Let's pray on it. Let's make sure we're on the same level with anybody when they're having those types of delusions. It's called fact checking it, or cognitive behavior therapy. We're fact checking what that voice is saying, what that delusion is. If you can't see it and they see it, they hear it, be in that space with them, making sure they're safe. That's the first thing you say to them. Are you safe? Do you feel safe? Do you need me to be with you right now? It's the first thing you say to the person. Are you safe? Do you feel safe? Do you need me to be with you right now? Let's get you to a place where you feel safe. What is your coping skill? How do you cope with this? How have you coped with it in the past? What do you do? What's the best thing for you right now? How can I be there for you? How can I help you right now? Sometimes you have to limit your interactions and avoid arguments and debates. The arguments and the debates, you have to avoid them because you're taking that person, you're escalating. You don't want to escalate the situation. Not with somebody that's having delusions. You don't want to escalate the situation because now you're putting yourself in harm's way. Again, you're not believing. Make sure you hear me clearly. You're not believing the delusion. You're sitting with them in it. Again, making sure that person's safe. Are you safe? If it's a yes, okay. As long as you're safe. How can I help you? What can I do for you? How are you coping with this? What has worked with you for you in the past? Again, as long as that person is safe. No weapons are involved. Nobody's getting killed. No children are being harmed. They've coped with it this way. I cope with it while watching TV. I cope with it while I'm pacing back and forth. I'm coping with it while I rock. I'm coping with it while I, have cold ice in my hand. I'm coping with it while I go outside. I'm coping with it while I'm listening to music. I'm coping with it while I'm talking to somebody on the phone to distract myself. Perfectly fine. Don't take it personally. And this is about the lying. The lying is likely stems from the person's own issues. Again, lying is a mask to shelter something of how the person feels about themselves. Don't take it personally. Focus on the facts. When confronted, be prepared for denial, deflection. Stick to the evidence, stick to the facts, and avoid emotional and escalation. Move from a calm or neutral state to a state of heightened arousal. Don't be agitated, don't be angry. Be in a peaceful spot. And if you need to take a break, say, let's table this thing. Sometimes it's best to have a safe word or a safe color, a safe number. When I was working with my clients, I used to have a talking stick because we can't both talk at the same time. Voices get elevated, and when you're talking at the same time, no one's listening, and things are back and forth, and both of you guys are getting frustrated, or the whole entire group is getting frustrated. And if you have a little child, you have to be eye level with that child. You can't stand and tower that child because now you're the dominant person in the conversation. So you're eye level with the child. Maybe you're sitting down, or you're stooping down to that child's level, or you're sitting on a step and they're standing up. So a calm, neutral state. If you feel yourself getting angry, let's take a break. Let's get a glass of water. Okay, that's just an instant. Maybe matter of fact, let's do a breathing exercise. Because this thing feels really heavy right now, and let's just get it. And I tell the kids, let's just get the wiggles out. Let's get the wiggles out. Your body looks tense, and your body looks, too heavy. Let's just shake the wiggles out. Let's just shake the wiggles out. Do you feel it in your arms? They say yes. I say let's just jiggle our arms. Just jiggle our arms and shake it out. All right, you shook out your arms and shake out your legs. Let's just shake the legs out. Your legs loose, so your legs is letting shake your head out. Shake your head out. Does that feel relaxed? They say yes, I feel relaxed. Okay, let's just shake up the hands and shake up the hands and shake. You have to let the person feel like they're having control over that situation because they already caught in a lie. Their lie is unfolded. Even with the adult, the lie is everything is out now. They've lost control. Encourage professional help. Maybe do family therapy. Listen, this is we've been having this problem for a while. Let's do some family therapy. Let's try to fix this thing together. It's not just your problem; it's our problem. Maybe communication can get a little better within the family. Let's try family therapy to address the underlying causes of what's going on, so it doesn't feel like everything is on that person. Maybe there's a break in communication and within the family system. Now, dealing with delusions, avoid arguing again or challenging the delusion. Approach them with empathy and understanding, focusing on feelings and not facts. Validate their emotions and offer support. Offer support. Encourage professional evaluations and treatment. Emphasizing treatment can help manage their experiences and improve their well-being. They might be in therapy. They might have missed medication. They might have not had enough sleep. That might be a trigger for them. Not enough sleep. Their blood pressure may be high. They might have a high level of stress. Something might be going on that aspirated or took them to an over highly stressful situation. And sometimes when you have those type of mental health disorders, high stress can exacerbate those type of delusions, the increase in auditory hallucinations, the increase in those negative thoughts. It can aspirate those things. And that's what you call when you're checking in with your family members, with your friends, with peers, with people at church. You're checking in, especially if you know your people. Check in. That's why I do a midweek check-in every Wednesday. You're checking in with your people. And so when I don't like that saying when they say it's okay to not be okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you're checking in with your people, you'll know if they're okay or not. Because I can go to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? I can say I'm doing fine every single day, and I'll be lying to you. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm great. And I'm lying to you. My people know when I'm fine, when I'm good, and I'm not great. My people know when I'm lying. I'm not fine today. I'm not. My bestie be like, Kimble, you lying. I'm like, Deb, I'm not doing so good. I'm not doing so good. Child, she ain't in my voice. So it's not okay not to be okay. We need to communicate when we're not feeling well, when we're overstressed, when we didn't get enough sleep. And I'm not talking about some you hungry, you need a Snicker. I'm talking about some when you're overwhelmed, you're stressed. And that thin line between I'm about to do something or I'm thinking something. See, again, society has us saying, you can keep going, just keep going. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. Why get to that point? Why put that much on you? I want this to be the straw that broke the camel's back. I want to make sure that when my load is slightly heavy, I'm taking a step back and saying, hold on. Let me breathe. Because the weight I got now is already heavy. And that's for every single person on this line. We already know, Sheree, your weight is already heavy. Yes, ma'am, it is. It's already heavy. I can carry this weight. I've been doing this all my life, right, Sheree? You can carry that weight. You've been doing it all your life. So why put so much on me? I'm already carrying this weight. I can handle this. I'm good with this right here. But sometimes it gets heavy. So let me take a step back and let me deal with this right here and say, okay, this is a little too heavy. Let me take this off. Give myself some time. I don't want to pour from an empty cup. And I don't want to wait till we get halfway full or a quarter third full. Let me take a step back. And let me do my midweek check. You do it yourself. Kimble, how are you doing? I don't want to say today I got on the wrong side of the bed because ain't no side of my bed wrong or right. I can get in the front, the back, the side, in the middle. God plans my day. I get up and I give my day to God. God, today is my day. Thank you for waking me up this morning. This is a present, new, bright day. I'm giving this day to you. Guide me through this day. This is going to be a great, marvelous, wonderful day. You already know what I got to do. I got to go to work. He knows that every day I got to go to work. Don't put nothing on me that I can't bear that's already planned out in my work day. My daughter had a rude awakening. Cash app knocked her off my grandson parental cash app. She got an email stating something like he turned 18. Are you no longer on his cash app parental information? She let her call them. I've never heard anything like that. Yeah, unless he did something like that. But she's gonna have to call them and see what would happen. Because again, these apps are so. Yeah, because they did the same thing when I went to the DMV yesterday. They tried to get my real ID. Once you turn 18 and you guys don't know this, and you're trying to go there and get your child's ID. If they don't have 2 pieces of mail, they're not allowing them to get their ID. And the mail can't say from the guardian of such and such. with their name on it. It has to be mail under the child's name. So if your child is 18 and they're trying to get a state ID, the child has already have to have mail that's going to that house in their name. They don't tell us these things when our kids turn 18 or whatever. But my kids are different. They different species. They was getting credit cards, honey. They was working. They had W-2s and everything in their names. Yeah. But call them once they're 18. Remember, once they are 18, they are grown. And so Cash App must have did that. Cash App must have sent him something without her permission because he's 18. Now that he's 18, they gave him the permission to either say they don't want her on here anymore as his guardian, as her being the consenting parental guardian because he's 18 now. So yeah, they probably did that because again, 18 don't mean they grown to me. That's just the legal age for them to vote or whatever. My child wasn't grown till she was 25. She about to be 27. That's how America is, people. That's how they are. Yeah. Learn about the condition and you can help better understand their experience providing more effective support. That's the best advice I can give you. Listen to me. If you have a family member, a loved one, a friend, even a coworker, even a person at your church that you know has a mental health condition, a mental health diagnosis, they're struggling with something, or you even just think something's going on. Learn about it. Research it. Read it. Because that can be the best thing that can help you when it comes down to that person or someone on the street that you might meet. My childhood friend, Takesha Church, shout out to you, Takesha. I think she's in Puerto Rico at this time. I'm not sure. But someone was having a seizure. And because her mother had a seizure and she learned about seizures, she was able to help in a situation where someone was having a seizure and she helped out in it. Learn about the condition. This can help you better understand if they have an experience in something with that mental health condition, that whatever they're going through. You can provide more effective support for that person. At the end of this segment, I'm going to put the mental health first aid information in the chat box. It's a free teaching. It's free. Now, it's an 8-hour course. 4 hours you do self-teaching on your own. After the other 8 hours, someone would, come on, teach you, talk to you about mental health first aid. It's layman terms. You get a certificate that lasts you 3 years. It's free. It's free. I will be taking my mental. I take it every three or 4 years. I take it just to have the certificate. Just to have the certificate. Seeking support for yourself, dealing with someone can be stressful and emotionally draining. Miss Carla. Seeking support for yourself, dealing with someone can be stressful and emotionally draining. Prioritize your well-being. Engage in self-care activities. Set healthy boundaries. Seek help from friends. Get a therapist. I just now scheduled myself for therapy again. You can see I'm losing weight. Thank you, Jesus. But some of it is not healthy weight loss. Some of it is stress. Some of it is still grief and loss. I still cannot believe it's been 2 years since my father's been gone, but we lost 4 people in my family. for major people, my great uncle, my grandmother, my mother, and my father, within 2 years of each other. We are struggling. My two sisters, we are struggling. It's difficult. My grandson, we are struggling. The only thing that's keeping us together is the Lord Himself. Connect with support groups. I will also be putting NAMI. NAMI has wonderful support groups. I will be putting the grief and loss contact number in the chat. The more groups you have that specifically pertain to what you deal with or what you can cope with, the better it is. The bigger your circle can get. The smaller, not the bigger your circle can get, but the more support you can have. Women Against Drunk Drivers, when they first came out, was like 2 or 3 women together. Now it's a really big group, and it's national. It's national. Them women don't play. They're getting laws passed. They're making things happen. Washington, listen to them women. (988) is a 24-hour hotline. 7 days a week, even on holidays. No matter when you call, it can be 4:30 in the morning on a Sunday, on Christmas. 988 is opened every single day, 24 hours. A crisis counselor is always available to talk, to help you through. She said it's nothing that can't be done because his 18th, they do it automatically. Yes, and it's crazy. It's crazy without your knowledge. Without your knowledge. Without your knowledge. And that's what I'm saying. There needs to be open communication because my babies would have came and told me, Mom, Cash App and told me I don't need you no more. Really, you don't? So that means you don't need my money, right? I ain't got to see you no money. I ain't got Cash App you nothing, right? She said, Sheree said she had a friend who would have petty more seizures, and her behavior would switch instantly. People thought she was on drugs, and would pour her clothes. Yes. So it's very, very good when you know the condition of someone that's around you, and that used to happen to me as well when I was younger. I would pass out, and people would think I was on drugs. And it was because my blood sugar would shoot up so high and it would drop down so low. I had syncope, whatever they call it, syncope, something. I thank God they got my stuff under control now, and they just have me as a pre-diabetic, and I just eat properly and trying to lose all this weight and all these other health issues that they're trying to diagnose me with. Their God saying, "No, you're not, honey. No, you're not, honey." So if you don't take anything away from lies, deception, and delusions, communication, self-esteem, talking openly with your children at a young age, being truthful and honest from the very beginning helps. I statements when communicating. We get emotional. We are emotional people. They say women are more emotional than men, but we are emotional people. The transferring of emotions, we don't listen to it. in arguing stages where both people tune each other out. You tune each other out. But if you're using I statements, I feel, I wish, I think, I need, I hope, I want. One person is listening and the other person is transmitting and receiving that information. It helps. It helps. I'm going to try to have a young person on next week. I'm going to cross my fingers because he's awesome. He's awesome. I'm going to try to have him on next week to talk about, because school, school starts on the 25th. All Philadelphia public schools start on the 25th. So I'm going to try to have this young person come back on, tell us how they did over the summer vacation. What was the experience and how they feel about going back to school and things that's going to be going on their perspective of the teenage people. Maybe I'll have my grandson on as well, because he'll be starting his school back. He goes to a private school, and I'll have those two people on next week for that. And that's a way to get to talk to our young people. We need to talk to our young people a little bit more to hear what they have to say, and to meet them at a level to hear them. Because again, I'm not my mother's how can I say this, political style, the way they were back in the day. That style has completely gone. We need to hear our children out. We need to compromise with our kids. You can still have that iron fist, but not as hard as they had it, especially the way our children are today. My kids are grown, but I still have to have these children around and model for them and make sure I am here. Yes, that too. We haven't heard about that. Sheree said hopefully the teachers don't strike, because the Philadelphia school district, the teachers have not came up with a contract yet. Yeah, and that might be an issue. And I do have some teachers. Maybe I'll call them on. Sheree, maybe I'll call them on and see if they want to come on the show. I do have some teachers that are in the Philadelphia school system. And I'll call them and see what's going on. You guys take it easy. This has been a great, wonderful show tonight. I will put that information in the chat for the mental health first aid, for the grieving counseling. The 988 number, the NAMI information on the group chats that they have on there, the group support numbers that they have on there. And I think I'm going to put it for all. I think all counties have them: Delaware, Montgomery, Bucks, Berks, Philadelphia. I'll put them all in the chat. I can also. Okay. Things just went off. I can put this. I can't put this in the chat, but I'll paste it, or I'll put it up on my page. I think I need. I'll put it up on my page in case you want to print it out. It's a great tool. Sometimes when I used to do it in my therapy sessions, I'll cut these into strips, like a piece of card. And for the older adults, I'll have them take one and the child take one, and they'll go back and forth and use them to try to get the parent to open up and communicate, because the parent don't think they need to talk to a 14-year-old kid. I ain't gotta say nothing to her. I feed it. I feed it, right? I ain't got to talk to it. I feed it. Child, listen. It's a new day and age. You guys enjoy and have a great evening. This has been a wonderful show. I'm your Trap Therapist Kimble Evans. Have a good night.